And I'll make sure that we are live. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we are all set. Perfect. Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. I am Jamie Chavez, President and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce, and I'm delighted to spend my day speaking with candidates for the upcoming election. Each candidate joining me today has a direct impact on Westminster, whether at the county or state level. And so I'm pleased to introduce Senator Rachel Zenzinger, who's running now for Jefferson County Commissioner District 1. Since we only have 10 minutes with each candidate today, we'll dive right in and give them as much chance to share their thoughts and plans with you. So Senator Zenzinger, please introduce yourself and tell our viewers why you're running for Jefferson County Commissioner.
Well, hi, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you, Jamie, for hosting this. I think this is a really great idea, and this is the first time that I've ever done a forum like this. So way to be on the forefront. So I am State Senator Rachel Zenzinger. I am a term-limited senator from Arvada. My district was Senate District 19, which is Arvada and Westminster, all in Jefferson County, and a very small portion of Adams County. That occurred after redistricting in 2022. And if you don't know me or my background, I grew up in the western part of Colorado, and I moved to the Front Range to attend college at Regis University. I did get my degree in education, and I have a teaching degree, and I have a long history of educational experience. And in particular, over the last couple of years, I've really honed in on that school finance space. I worked here in the area, and I actually served on the Arvada City Council for a number of years prior to entering into the state legislature. I live in Arvada with my husband and my 2 children. They are college age, so they're not actually in the home at the moment. They are away at college, and I am in an empty nest. And I have a long history of service. As I mentioned, I did serve on the Arvada City Council, and then I'm just wrapping up my final term in the state legislature, where I had the pleasure of being able to chair the Joint Budget Committee. And I'm running for Jefferson County Commissioner because I believe it is the perfect blend of both local and state politics. So I have that experience and that background of working in local government, but then also working in state government. And when you're a county commissioner, you are an administrator of state programming, but you're also a local government. So it's kind of a perfect place for someone with my background and experience to serve. I'm also running because I believe I can bring real results to Jefferson County. I have a long history of working really hard in the state Senate, and I had a 100% bipartisan record when I was down at the state legislature. And that's because I worked really hard on honing to the middle and trying to do what was right for my constituents, regardless of what the politics were. I am not necessarily running on any particular issues because I think our issues will come and go. They change. I'm running on values. And I've been telling everyone that in my first campaign, I ran on the 3 E's, which is education, the economy, and the elderly. And this campaign is more about the 3 C's, which is collaboration, commitment, and courage. So I have a really strong commitment to collaboration, as I said, with my 100% bipartisan record down at the state legislature. But more than that, I just think that collaboration is really the key to the cornerstone of democracy. So all ideas are valid and need to be listened to and heard. And I believe that that's the type of leadership style that I bring to the Jefferson County Commission. I'm also running on commitment because when I set out to do something, I do it. I accomplish it. Even when it's difficult, even when it's hard, I have a very steadfast commitment to my constituents and delivering on important problems and trying to accept those challenges. And then lastly, courage. I think that leadership really requires a person pushing boundaries, pushing against that group think sometimes, and being willing to have the courage to stand alone and or to stand with a group of people in order to solve our biggest challenges. And so those three things, courage, collaboration, and commitment, I think I bring with me to this position.
Great, thank you. And so what do you believe is the most pressing issue facing our community, and how do you plan to address it?
There are a number of big issues. I would say that one that is top of mind for me, though, in particular in Jefferson County with where we are situated, would probably be fire mitigation. Fire mitigation right now, it's having huge consequences, not just for the people that are living in the foothills area. Some people were commenting to me about how high their homeowners insurance has become. And part of that has to do with the impact of these very dangerous and destructive fires in Colorado. It impacts our insurance rates. And then, of course, it touches the lives of our community. You know, when you lose your home, that's pretty devastating to people. So Jefferson County is one of the main entities that is supposed to deal with fire and fire mitigation, in particular in what we call the WUI, which is that wildfire wildlife urban interface, the WUI. I love saying that. And so Jefferson County needs to be very present to this conversation and figure out ways that we can make sure that we are mitigating and planning and preparing for when wildfires occur.
Okay, great. And how do you plan to engage with local businesses and chambers of commerce to foster economic growth?
I love that question. And I want to right now thank the Westminster Chamber for your partnership. When I was serving down at the state legislature, I had a couple of business walks that I did with the chamber. And the chamber took me into some areas of Westminster that I was not even familiar with, and really kind of highlighted the business climate and culture that we have. And we have a great one. And so the best thing about those visits is that I got to engage with people on the ground, and not just give them an opportunity to show off a little bit about the great business that they have here in Westminster and how they're contributing, but then also share with me their real world challenges. And I took that with me down to the state capitol so many times when we were discussing policy. I would reach out to the business community, and I took their feedback not only into consideration, but generally it guided my decision making, because I think it's really important, and I don't ever want to lose sight of that.
Great, thank you. And how do you plan to prioritize spending and resources to address the needs of Jefferson County?
That is also one of my favorite questions. The last couple of years, I've served on the Joint Budget Committee, which is the state's budget committee. We are tasked with balancing the $40 billion budget. And I did that in both good times and in bad times. I was there when the pandemic struck and we had to cut $3.3 billion from our budget. And that is an experience that nobody has had to do before in our state. It was the largest cut that we ever had to make. So I learned some things by going through that experience. I learned how important it is that you prioritize those types of resources and programming that impact the greatest number of people, that are supporting our most vulnerable populations, our seniors and our children. And I'm going to bring that same skill set with me to the Jefferson County budget. I will point out that when you're a county commissioner, your number one job is to balance the budget. Many people ask me, well, what's a county commissioner? And they have lots of responsibilities and duties, but the number one priority is to figure out how you are going to balance your budget for the county. And you have to work with your department, and you have to work with all the divisions and departments in the county government, listen to them, and it's a really important job.
Great, thank you. One last question quickly. What is your plan to balance growth and development while maintaining the character of our community?
Well, first and foremost, I am a huge champion of local government and home rule and local control. In fact, it's kind of what I'm known for down at the Capitol, as I stood there and fought against all of those bills that were well-intentioned, that really sought to improve things like affordable housing. But I don't believe that by preempting local government that you're going to achieve the best results. So, and the reason I believe that is that you have to have community engagement. It's those people that live in those communities that know best. And so you have to have a really robust citizen engagement process. And I believe very strongly that we need to really work towards partnership and not preemption.
Great. Well, thank you again so much for spending some, for spending some time with us today. Really appreciate it. And thanks for everybody who joined. And we will see you on the rest of these broadcasts. Thank you again, Senator Zenzinger. Have a good one.
Thank you so much.